In today's video, we're going to be talking about, is the UFC falling off? Even though the UFC is bigger than it has ever been before and on social media is popping like it has never been before, the pay-per-view card quality still keeps declining. They keep trying to give us too many cards with lower quality. Dana literally said himself that the pay-per-view buys are lowering and decreasing and that they need to pick up. The UFC have so many good fighters, have so many active fighters that want to fight and want to put on good performances. There are so many things that the UFC could do to combat this, but they are not. The last 3 pay-per-views have been mid. There's been some exciting fights, but the quality has been bad. Why can we not, on a pay-per-view once a month, get 5 ranked fights on the main card? Why can we not get that? That would be 108 ranked fights a year for the pay-per-view, and there are 120 ranked male fighters. And that's if you have 2 ranked fights per fight night twice a month as well. So that's 4 ranked fighters on the fight nights and then 5 on the pay-per-view, so 9 per month, 108 per year. So this means that not every ranked fighter even has to fight a year to give us this does not even include the women's fights that they keep on putting on the main card. They keep on putting them on the main card. They know no one wants to watch them. They are piss breaks. They know they're toilet breaks. They know they're not interesting unless it's a war, and that rarely ever happens. It seems like every year recently it's just been getting worse and worse. They're just trying to have as many events as possible, trying to make as much money as possible, it doesn't work though. They're trying to have as many events as possible, and this is clearly not working. The pay-per-view numbers are decreasing and the card quality is getting worse and worse. What was that fight night we just watched in Marvin Vettori, Roman Dolidze? I nearly fell asleep. This does not happen in every country. The UFC stacks cards in Saudi and Abu Dhabi with their best fighters. Even American fighters, Brazilian fighters, it doesn't matter. They will stack the Saudi and Abu Dhabi cards because they are trying to get into that market. So that shows that the UFC has the ability to do this. They are just choosing not to for the markets that they are already in, because they are prioritising the Saudi and Abu Dhabi markets. As well as this, the UFC athletes are becoming less active. Obviously, the UFC can't force their athletes to fight, but they can implement activity bonuses where, at the end of the year, but depending on how many times you have fought, you get an activity bonus. This will motivate fighters to be more active, to fight more. I don't know why they haven't done this. They've got so many bonuses. This seems like such a good idea. An activity bonus for the most active fighters. They should be rewarded. Not just in good matchups, in money. The UFC is just turning more and more into boxing. And Dana literally said that is his worst nightmare years ago, that he would never let the UFC turn into boxing. And that is what is happening. We are giving undeserved contenders or ex-champions matches they don't deserve, and championship matchups that they don't deserve. Just because they sell better. A clear example of this is Pereira Roundtree. It wouldn't have sold better than Ankalaev, but he didn't want to fight Ankalaev then. Ankalaev couldn't fight then, and he wanted to fight then, so they gave him Roundtree. And it's like everyone's just forgotten that he popped twice for PEDs. He got caught, and then they announced the fight, and then after the announcement, he then came out after admitting to PED use, and he only got a 3-month suspension, and that was literally just so he could get to that fight. So other people get suspensions for way longer. He gets a 3-month suspension just so he can make it to the fight, and that was the best we've seen of the strongest and the fastest. No wonder. But we are constantly getting matchups with not needed or just shouldn't happen. Why is Dana teasing O'Malley Marab? We do not need this. Sean had one defense against Vera, who shouldn't have been fighting for the title, another contender that shouldn't have been fighting for the title. There's other options like Pantoja. That would be great, because Merab's fights are most entertaining when you put him against a great grappler or wrestler like Umar. That was an entertaining fight. Well, I don't know why they aren't understanding this and who is making these decisions behind the scenes. And this would mean one of them would have to lose. So that would help one of the divisions sort out, maybe even get a new champion that they can promote better than the old one. I don't know why they aren't making this matchup. It makes clear sense. Why are they putting so much little effort into promotion instead of doing face-to-face interviews like boxing, like they did in the Masvidal Till interview? They've done it before. Instead of doing that for the main event, doing an interview face-to-face with a translator so they can understand what each other are saying and they can beef or not, just get some funny moments. We've got them doing interviews with an ex-Playboy girl, Nina Drama, who knows nothing about MMA, and she's a hypocrite. She literally gets onto people and then she likes John Jones and is friends with John Jones and says he's a nice person. They should take the money that they're paying her and give it to someone who does good interviews. Or it doesn't even need to be someone that does good interviews. Just get good questions and they just need to ask it. We need a main event interview for every pay-per-view. Imagine the hype that would bring to the matchup a week before an interview coming out, before all the embeddeds. Imagine falling off. Even though a week before an interview coming out, before all the embeddeds. Imagine, why aren't they doing this? There's so much they can improve and they are not doing it. It seems like the UFC higher-ups are on purpose making the UFC worse. It seems like they're actively trying to make the UFC worse. It seems like they are controlled opposition, because what are these decisions they are making? I seem like I'm going crazy. People are talking about this and nothing is being done. We constantly are getting matchups that shouldn't happen or don't make sense. Like, why was Henry Cejudo fighting Sonya Dong, not Dominic Cruz? Or even Rob Font? Like, why are you giving him to Sonya Dong? Like, I know Dana don't like Cejudo, but he's a legend of the sport. Just for MMA as a whole, you should try and get him to retire on a good legacy instead of what's happened now. And the judging in the UFC, and the decisions. It's clear that all the decisions and the judging go in favour of what the UFC want most of the time. Obviously, Dana would have wanted Pereira to win, but there wasn't a clear... This ain't no Dominic Reyes, John Jones situation. This ain't the old days. There's too many fans to be putting a fast one like that. But I feel like it's just getting worse and worse year after year, and nothing is being done. We had UFC 300, great. We had some banging pay-per-views last year, but the promotion was so bad. If they want new fans, they should put the money into the promotion and doing better things with the fighters, doing interviews face-to-face like they do in boxing, like they have done before, instead of these stupid social media things for TikTok and clicks. That will get casual fans. They won't pay for the pay-per-views. They won't watch the fight nights. You want hardcore fans. You want people watching these interviews. I don't know what the UFC are doing. They're making it worse. They're controlled opposition. We must be vocal about this. They cannot get away with it. They cannot turn this into boxing. Let me know what you think. Is the UFC doing this on purpose? Am I just waffling? See you in a bit.